Hi friends, welcome back to your practice. I am Katie Arnold and today's class is our yoga flow for the whole family. So this isn't going to be anything crazy, but it is a chance for the whole family to come together to do a little bit of yoga together and to connect on our mats in a really fun flow. So go ahead, roll out your mats, and I will see you there. All right, so we are going to get started in this practice, lying all the way down on our backs in Shavasana or corpse pose. So go ahead and let your legs come out nice and long. Your arms resting gently beside you, and maybe you want to close your eyes here, or maybe you just let your gaze settle wherever feels nice to you. Starting our practice with a few moments of stillness together. Breathing in and out through the nose. Get out any of those wiggles, those silly little moments or things that we might be holding on to here. And just allowing ourselves to come into this moment together. Whether that moment together is practicing just with me, or if it's practicing surrounded by friends or family today. Just a couple more moments. Allowing yourself to slow down. And bringing your knees into your chest. Go ahead and take a few gentle rocks side to side, rocking to the right and to the left. Moving at your pace, so whether that's a little bit faster or slower than mine. And bringing your knees back to center. Take your arms out to a T and drop your knees over to the right. Getting a nice little twist here. Gaze can stay up towards the ceiling or maybe over that opposite shoulder. Two more rounds of breath. And letting those knees come back through center and dropping them over to the opposite side. For me, that's my left. If we had any mix-ups, that's okay. Just make sure you get the other side here. And then breathe for about 5 rounds in and out. And letting those knees come back through center. Start to take a few rocks up and down on our mat. So rocking up and down along the length of your spine. Letting this be fun and playful. Letting it also be a nice massage. And then just come up to a seated position. When you get there, bring the soles of your feet together. Take those knees out nice and wide. So we have a little diamond or butterfly shape here, sitting up nice and tall. You can stay right here with this tall spine, or if it feels good, you can start to fold forward, hinging at those hips. Finding the spot that feels good to you to stay and breathe. Feeling that really nice opening in the hips. And gently sitting back up nice and tall. Place both feet down on the mat. Start to press yourself up, and then we're just going to take a forward fold. So hips are high, feet are planted. And you can let those arms hang down nice and heavy if that feels good. You can grab onto opposite elbows if that feels nice. And I invite you to take a few sways side to side. Keeping a nice bend in those knees. It might be a slight bend, it might be a bigger bend, but having a bend in those knees. And gently release those hands if you took a bind. Heel toe those feet so that way they're right underneath your hips. Press your hands into your shins. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Slowly start to stand all the way up, sweeping the arms up and overhead. And exhale, let those hands come down through heart center and then down by your side. Tadasana, our mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up and overhead. Grabbing onto that left wrist. Take a gentle side body stretch over to the right. Inhale, coming back up through center, and switch that grip and take your side bend over to the left. Grounding down through that right foot, reaching all the way up through the right side body. Coming back up through center, bringing those big toes to touch, and sink your seat down, finding a chair pose. Hands can come down through heart center, maybe reach them up and overhead. Squeezing those legs together, engaging that core. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, go ahead and stand back up. Shift your weight over into your right foot and bring that left foot right on the inside of the calf, finding our tree pose. Maybe you feel a little bit wobbly today, that's okay. This is your tree pose. If you need a little help with balance, hands can come back down through heart center. Find something to focus your gaze. It'll help your balance, I promise. One more breath in. And on your exhale, bring that left knee forward and step the left toes to the back of your mat. Hands come down, finding a nice runner's lunge. Breathing into those hips. And exhale, step the right foot back to meet the left, finding a nice sturdy, steady plank. Try to create that nice long line from the crown of your head through the heels of your feet. Feel the shake, let it be kind of fun here. Take a breath in. And exhale, lower down onto your belly. Bring those tops of your feet to the mat, hands underneath your shoulders. Squeeze your elbows together towards one another. And inhale, let your head lift, let your chest lift, finding our baby cobra pose. Very little weight in those hands. One more inhale. And exhale, lowering down. Press yourself up and back to a child's pose, keeping those knees together today. And then pressing yourself back up, coming through just a tabletop position, curling your toes under and letting your hips go high to find your downward facing dog. Be walking out your down dog, bending one knee, bending the other. When you're ready, start to walk your feet up towards your hands, coming back to that forward fold at the top of our mats. Bring your hands to your shins. Inhale for that flat back, halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, stand up, reach up, arms sweeping up overhead. Bring those big toes to touch. And then exhale, let your hips sink back down, coming back to that chair pose. Also called lightning bolt pose. We look like a little strong lightning bolt here. Another breath in and out. Next inhale, standing up, bringing your weight into your left foot. Bring that right foot on the inside of that left calf. You want to take this a little bit further today. You can always bring that foot up on the inside of your thigh, but letting this practice be kind of fun today, not worrying about going really far. Find that point to rest your gaze. Let it help your balance. Engage that core. Inhale, bring that right knee to face the front of the room. And then exhale, step the right toes to the back of your mat, finding your runner's lunge, bringing those hands down onto the mat. Trying to keep your knee right over your ankle here so we have a nice line, not letting the knee come past the toes. Letting this practice be fun with one another today, still being really mindful of where our bodies are at. Take an inhale. And exhale, step those left toes back. Find your strong plank pose. Big breath in. And exhale, lower down onto your belly. Tops of your feet down onto the mat. Roll those shoulders down your back. Pull those elbows in close to the side of your body. Inhale, finding your baby cobra, lifting your head and your chest. One more breath in. And exhale, lowering down. Inhale, pressing yourself up. And then exhale, sending it back to that child's pose. Letting yourself rest and relax here. And inhaling up to your tabletop. And exhale back, downward facing dog. This is our final downward facing dog today. So maybe it feels nice to walk those legs out a little bit more. Taking that little dog for a walk. Or maybe you would just let yourself find some stillness. Breathe into the backs of the legs. There's something here in this pose for everyone, depending what you need out of your class today. Gently bringing the knees down onto the mat. tops of your feet down to the mat, we're going to take a pose called puppy pose. So think about a puppy when they're getting that nice big stretch. We want to try and keep our hips over our knees. And then start to walk your hands forward. It's very similar to our child's pose, but those hips are going to stay high. And then start to melt your heart down onto the mat or towards the mat, and let your forehead rest down onto the mat. And just think about that nice big stretch that our puppies take. Palms pressing into your mat. Two more rounds of breath. Start to press down into your hands, walking yourself back up. And then just sit your seat all the way down on your heels, hands resting on your lap. Maybe closing your eyes, finding some stillness. Gently rolling onto one hip. Swing both legs around in front of you. Plant your feet on the mat and we'll slowly lower down onto our backs. Walk your feet in a bit. So with your arms by your side, you can kind of tickle those ankles with your fingertips. Press your feet down into your mat. Tuck your tailbone. Inhale, let your hips lift up high. Finding our bridge pose for about 5 breaths. Active thighs, active legs. Pressing into the feet, into the hands, lifting those hips up high. And slowly let your hips come back down to the earth. Once they hit, let those knees drop side to side like windshield wipers on a car, back and forth, moving at whatever pace feels really good to you. A couple more times here. And bringing those knees back through center, we're going to take our hands, slide them underneath your booty. And then bring those knees into your chest. And extend the legs up towards the ceiling, finding our legs up pose, flexing your feet. Having those hands underneath your booty will help take some of the work out of this pose here. knees back into your chest. Move those hands and start to extend the legs back out long on your mat. Coming back into that corpse pose, that same pose we started class with. And we'll end class in the same space. Finding some rest, some relaxation. Again, getting out any wiggles or giggles before you can be in a space of rest, relaxation, and stillness. Enjoying this time of quiet. Gently start to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing some movement back to your body, rolling the wrists and the ankles around, reaching nice and long from your fingertips to your toes. And then when it feels good to you, go ahead and roll over onto one side, curling up into a little ball, finding a fetal position. And gently pressing yourself up to a seat. Crossing your legs, hands on your knees, or maybe they come together at heart center. Thank you for coming together and practicing with me. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Hi friends, I'm just popping back in here real quick to ask you to please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Like this video, comment below, and if there's something specific that you want to see, let me know that as well. Go find me on Instagram at I am Katie Arnold, and I would love to bring a class just for you.